All right, hey guys. So I am here because one of the games I was playing crashed, and I think you can probably guess what it was. So whenever my game crashes, I decide to do something else, and you should be glad that I am. So in this video, I actually wanted to debunk a little bit of stuff in the Shang-Chi's trailer because I found it is by far one of the most impressive trailers that have been released by Marvel recently, and they don't really have a lot of things going on. They had a Black Widow that was supposed to come, and it's still on its way. They have a lot of thing that's on its way, and while we wait for all these things, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get all of it in like a single year, and it's gonna blow our minds. And I'm super excited for that because as much as I didn't like certain films from Marvel, like Endgame, and certain TV series like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, I felt they were just like redoing their formula and it was super boring and whatever. There are things that they have done right in the past, and as a result, I am still looking forward to seeing a glimpse of that if I ever get it. And looking at this trailer, I actually found it super fun. A lot of the jokes I found a lot of the jokes actually pretty cool because they were all within the context of the action, and it felt like sort of a Jackie Chan film as well because there's a lot of kung fu, there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of action involved, all in one box. And I love Jackie Chan films, and I miss the man. I really wish he made a lot more films, but his time has come. He's old. You can't be doing your own action forever, but man, he's a legend. I have like so many of his movies that I keep watching, and this trailer actually brought me back to that kind of to have a reminiscence, or rather a recollection of those memories. And I really wanted to break down a few things in what I saw in this trailer. So before I proceed, let me tell you that please support the channel, which is Marvel Entertainment, who released this trailer. I do not own any footage to this. I'm only reviewing it under the name of Transformative Purpose, so please do not report me for any reason. Regardless, you don't have to pull out your hater keyboard that you're going to smash as you type towards me, because I'm not a hater in any form in this. I am just going to break down a few things, and you're probably going to enjoy this. So first off, I'm a big fan of the Marvel fandom wiki, right? Because they've got so many things well detailed out. It's super accurate, and compared to a lot of other depictions, I feel that this wiki actually states exactly what is canon. So, for example, if there is something that was formerly canon, they will state the word formerly there, and that's one way you can actually even identify things that they were canon in the past. For example, the change of Captain Marvel's name from what's his name? What do you call this? The DC's what do you call this? Captain Marvel, and it was is brought forward to Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe, and all of these changes are well detailed out in this fandom wiki. So first off, Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi is, he's raised as an assassin by his father, and they mention it here as the sorcerer Fu Manchu. But this is one of Fu Manchu's aliases. The sorcerer's actual name is Zheng Zhu, and I hope I pronouncing it correctly, because I am in no way what do you call this going to be able to do this right unless you guys help me out. So I think it's Zhengzhou, or it could be Zhengzhou. I'm not sure. I didn't see a second H here. Regardless, Zheng Zhu, so he's supposed to be some kind of powerful sorcerer. He has certain abilities that allow him to, of course, uh, use, in terms of, it's like a higher level of, what do you call this, kung fu and martial arts. And it's more so the mastery of the spirit, the mind, and the body that allows him to conjure these abilities. But he also has actual magical abilities by using certain magical equipment. He has also mastered some form of the mystic arts, similar to what Doctor Strange has. There are comic variations where the Sorcerer Supreme has actually, sort of come into the picture when it comes to fighting off, the man with the ten rings. So the thing about the 10 rings that this guy originally has, right? It's not exactly related. Because the 10 rings, from what I have read in the comics, belong to this guy, the Mandarin. And I'm not sure what kind of twist Marvel is pulling here by showing Shang-Chi's father, Zheng Zhu, actually possessing these 10 rings. Because as far as I remember, the Mandarin was the man with the 10 rings, and these 10 rings each had a unique ability. So it was a totally what do you call this, out of the ordinary for me to see these rings in the possession of Zheng Zhu. At least from the trailer, that's what it looks like. So the Mandarin's rings, essentially, is some sort of a micro Infinity Gauntlet. If you were to look at it that way, he has 10 instead of the Infinity Gauntlets. I believe five or six. I think it's 6 stones. Here, there's 10. So of the 10 rings, let's see, where are there we go, the rings. So there's one called the Remaker, which allows you to rearrange matter. This allows Mandarin to control his body's form into transform into other sort of matter, which is pretty impressive. The second one is known as Influence. I don't know why they have these longer names. I don't remember them this way. I only remember them in the shorter form. Maybe they were shortened later in the comics or something like that, or maybe I read the old one. I'm not sure, guys. I'm in between the eras, right? So anyway, the influence allows him to generate and project beams of concussive force. um so that there's also spin, and they also actually mentioned the ring, the finger that he wears these rings on. That's actually pretty cool. So you see how detailed this wiki is. I absolutely love it. So the next one is called spin, allows him to move in high speeds. Then they have spectral, which allows him to what do you call this, project energy, but I believe it also allows him to uh, go into, what do you call this, the state of astral projection, but I could be wrong. Cause inanimate objects to disintegrate. Anyway, Nightbringer allows him to create darkness in an area and allows him to use some dark force. This sort of makes him a dark type of ninja in some stories. The demonic. Okay, interesting. White light. They call it demonic. Really? I thought it's just called a white bringer, a light bringer. This is the Nightbringer. I thought this was the Lightbringer. Okay, never mind. You know what? Forget my knowledge. Screw me. So this one allows him to generate and manipulate various forms of electromagnetic energy, which allows him to do light burst, gravity field, magnetic levitation. It's quite a powerful ring. But let me just tell you that the black ring is just as powerful as the white ring. It's just the opposite things. In fact, it can negate the abilities of the white ring. The flame ring allows him to project fire. This is a very, very common ring, incandescence. It's one of the most used, what do you call this, power rings by the Mandarin, because he loves fire for some reason, and has always just seen him as a sort of pyromancer when he has this ring with him. It's absolutely amazing. And then he has the lyre, which allows him to control people using mental, what do you call this? Psychic energy, right? And then he has the lightning, which allows him to produce electrical energy, and he has zero, which allows him to produce ice energy. So as you can see, these rings allow him to control multiple elements. They are sort of a micro Infinity Gauntlet. They do not possess anywhere near the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, and they could be easily destroyed by something as simple as the Reality Stone. Regardless, these rings are powerful in their own right. In the essence of the powers within Earth, these rings really control all of the elements, and they are extremely powerful in the Earth. And even off the Earth, they I believe they can be powerful. I don't remember reading them ever being off Earth, but they do not compete with the likes of things like the Infinity Gauntlet, which essentially controls the powers of the universe itself. So these are the rings. But what the trailer showed us was this guy who's wielding rings in like both his hands. And what Marvel essentially created is this guy from Kung Fu Hustle. Is this guy? Have you guys watched Kung Fu Hustle? They created this guy, and it's super hilarious when I saw that. I was like, what have they done to the Ten Rings? Why did they create this guy? This is not what they wanted to do. But essentially, this is what happened. I mean, anyway, this is something new that they're trying, and it's definitely not close to the source material. They may have a reason. They may have some kind of alternate storyline that I may have missed out, some comic reference that they pulled out of nowhere just because they wanted to, make the fights look cooler. So they found these 10 rings that come off his hands. And I respect that. I appreciate the extra effort taken to make these rings look cooler and to give them a new identity. I mean, that's fine. But hey, it's been done before. It's in Kung Fu Hustle, guys. And this movie was hilarious, by the way. So yeah, they created the Kung Fu Hustle guy, and I'm not sure what kind of power Shang-Chi finds towards the end, but they reveal a little too much. They reveal this final fight, and they show Shang-Chi actually possessing some sort of rings in his fingers, and they don't look like any kind of 10 rings that this guy has, but instead they look like some other kind of, or they could be another 10 rings, or a different type of ring altogether. But Shang-Chi does come into possession with it. There we go. He's holding like two from what I can see, and then there's another three out here. And this guy's doing the same thing. These could be the same 10 rings. I think this split into two parts, so there's five and five. I think that's what's happening here. They're just fighting for the same 10 rings. It's not some new set of 10 rings. And I think this shot actually gives it a lot clearer of depiction now that I look at it. But these have nothing to do with the Mandarin's rings, and Zheng Zhu having come into possession, because Zheng Zhu never had any rings as far as the Marvel universe is concerned before this. Neither has Shang-Chi. There's been no source of rings from what I'm searching over here. There's no depiction of rings in any way. However, the Mandarin was the man with the 10 rings, and they turned him into some kind of a what's this, Trevor Slattery or something. They turned him into some kind of comedian with Ben Kingsley. I mean, with all due respect to Ben Kingsley, fantastic actor. He should not have taken such a miserable role in Iron Man 3. That's the only Iron Man movie that I hate. Iron Man 3 was terrible because of the, you know, them pulling out a big, guess what? It's not the Mandarin. We fooled you guys. You thought you're gonna get some epic CGI fight with the Mandarin and the 10 rings. No, you're not. And yeah, the Marvel pulled that one on us. I don't know whether they ran out of budget halfway through the production by paying Tony Stark. I mean, paying Robert Downey, because that happens a lot. Regardless, this is the actual Mandarin, the man with the 10 rings, and each of his rings possess unique power, and they're literally known as the Mandarin's rings. And I believe they actually these 10 cylinders were Makluan pieces of technology. Yeah, so they actually have their own origin before the Mandarin finds these rings. So these rings actually, they contain these 10 dragon spirits. And as you can see here, I come from shape-changing cosmic rays known as the Makluan, some called space dragons. So these dragons are from another realm altogether. They sometimes are mentioned from space, sometimes from another world. Regardless, they're some sort of Pacific Rim sort of creatures. They're from another dimension entirely, and these Makluan dragons are what give these rings their powers, and there are 10 of them, so they each give a unique power. And we actually see Shang-Chi coming into contact with one dragon somewhere along in this trailer. If I can find it, perhaps. There we go. It's right before. So he actually comes into contact with a dragon here, and we can't actually see who this dragon is from this little picture here. So that's pretty interesting. But let's just look for a dragon. Do we see any dragon? Let's see. Gorgon in the hand, awaken a dormant dragon below the island. Fly to Hong Kong. Okay. So this could be the dragon. This could be the dragon. I'm not sure if this was because he was sent to Madripoor along with Wolverine, and I don't think Wolverine is involved in this story in any way. But this dragon, I'm not sure if this is the same one. But what I would like it to be would be some sort of a depiction of Shenlong, and that would be pretty cool. Wait, it is Shenlong, right? Am I saying it the wrong way? Shenlong, Shenlong. Um, wait. Uh, okay, you know what? Dragon Long. There we go. Let's try that. Space Dragon. I see. Dragons of Kunlun. Yeah, that's what I need actually. Okay. Yeah, so Shao Lao. Great. What was I saying? What is Shenlong? Okay, you know what? Let me go to Google and ask Google what Shenlong is. Okay, all right. That's the drag. It's Shenron. Okay, fine. So Shenlong is literally dragon god. That's what it means. Okay, fine. All right. Sorry, guys. I was referring to the wrong dragon. So it's Xiao Lao. So Xiao Lao the Undying is the dragon from Iron Fist, and he's the one that gives Iron Fist powers after Iron Fist punches it in its heart. And there's a reason for this in Iron Fist story. You can read about it. It's more so to do with the fact that the dragon wanted Iron Fist to have his powers and protect Kunlun in some way. So that is a pretty interesting story by itself, and it would be cool if that is the dragon that they're just showing, and he just goes the dragon for some kind of advice or something like that. But I believe that it may not be the case, and it may be the dragon depicted in the story of Shang-Chi itself, because these two guys are quite closely related, Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. They're both martial artists. They're both using chi energy. They're both trained by assassins, and they come from involvement with I believe the hand. Do they have the hand here? Yeah, they come into involvement with the hand, and the hand is the evil organization that operates in the antagonist side towards Iron Fist, towards Daredevil, towards Shang-Chi, and I would love to see all of these people depicted in the screen together. It'll be an amazing thing to happen. So it's pretty interesting what I found from this trailer, and yeah, this is a little bit of backstory for you guys about Shang-Chi, about the Mandarin and his 10 rings, and how it has nothing to do with what's happening in this trailer, and there's something totally new that they're coming up with here, and in their process of creating this amazing fight scene, what they've actually done is they managed to create this guy from Kung Fu Hustle, which is, I mean, okay, fine. I just hope that it goes the right way. I don't want it to be something that's going to be made fun of, because these are not the 10 rings that we know of from Marvel. Regardless, it looks pretty interesting. A lot of the comedy and the fight scenes actually look pretty good. We seem to be getting a lot of family story here, a lot of emotional sort of Asian story, martial arts, some magic, and a lot of interesting actors as well. And I wish all the best to whoever's involved in this, because it's time we get a Chinese superhero in Marvel. It's been a while since we actually saw something like this, and it looks super Jackie Chan, and I'm super in love with it, and I hope it does well, and I hope wish it all the best. So that's it from me. I'll meet you guys. I hopefully soon after an actual movie comes out, because I haven't had many movies to review, and I really don't want to be the guy who reviews trailers. But if it's a breakdown like this, I really enjoy doing it. And I do have some knowledge of the Marvel lore. It's a massive universe. It's like the ocean, so I know bits and pieces of it. I don't know Shang-Chi as well as I know about what do you call this, Iron Fist, and because of Iron Fist, I know the Mandarin more, because the Mandarin is involved a lot with the hand, and he's also a villain of the Iron Man in a mystical way, and I do believe that there are cases where he sort of brings Iron Man back to how to call it, to face the facts that no matter how powerful the man in the suit may be, he is no match to all these mystical entities. And I find that something pretty cool, nonetheless. So regardless, that's it. I hope I got my Shao Lao right in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, guys.